Let f go from r star to r with f of x equal to e to the x plus x, where r star is a set of all real numbers different from 0. So we want to see whether f is a one-to-one function and a onto function. So let's start off with one-to-one. So let's look at x1 and x2, where x1 does not equal x2. Then that means that f of x1 will not equal f of x2. Now, the way we're going to show that this is going to be one-to-one is by showing that this is an increasing function. And we're going to show it's an increasing function because the derivative is always going to be positive for all real numbers. Because we know that the derivative of e to the x plus x is e to the x plus 1. E to the x is always greater than 0. And then if you add 1, it's always going to be bigger than 1. So therefore, the derivative is positive for all real numbers, and it's strictly increasing. And a strictly increasing function is always going to be one-to-one because if you take two different x values, here we said x1 and x2 are not equal to each other. And let's say if x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 will always be less than f of x2. So you'll get that f of x1 will not equal to f of x2 because it's less than. And so therefore f is one-to-one. Now for onto, we want to look at every y value that is a real number. Can we find an x such that f of x is equal to y? So in other words, we're going to take our function e to the x plus x and we're going to set it equal to y. And so to show that it's onto, we will find the limits as x approaches positive and negative infinity. We know e to the x as x approaches negative infinity is going to 0, but x is going to negative infinity. So it's like 0 plus negative infinity, so this is going to go towards negative infinity. And then as x approaches infinity, e to the x will go to infinity and so will x. So it's just going to go be infinity plus infinity is just infinity. So that's what we have here. So this is going down to negative infinity. This is going down to positive infinity. And we know that e to the x plus x is a continuous function. And it's increasing. So by the intermediate value theorem, all the values between negative infinity and infinity will have an x value. So for any y that's a real number, there must exist some x that is part of r star such that f of x equals y. So basically, it's continuous, so like you can just draw it out, and you'll see that there's always going to be a y value for any x value between y being between negative infinity and infinity. So therefore, f is onto. And so f is going to be both one-to-one and onto.